All right, BYU, Texas. Texas 17.5-point home favorites, 50-51 the total. I'll tell you what, after Texas had that big lead, they thought it was going to be easy. They're going to cruise. They're going to roll against Houston. And they all of a sudden, here comes Houston roaring back, tying up that game. That's definitely given me some pause to lay 17.5 with Texas here against this BYU team. A BYU squad that, 27-14 win against Texas Tech last week. Now, granted, they were down to a third-string quarterback, Texas Tech, but, you only play who you can play on your schedule, and they took advantage of it. Defense played well, but this is also a defense that the week before that, 44-11 on the road at TCU, they got absolutely destroyed. So this is another one where I don't have a strong take on it early in the week. After what I saw against a mediocre Houston team that they just completely let them back in the game, defense, shaky. Now, all of a sudden, Oklahoma game, the Houston game for this Texas team, I'm not ready to comfortable laying a number this big, but I don't know if I'm ready to trust BYU on the road against this team either, because the last time they were on the road, they got trounced by TCU, and Texas is still better than TCU this year. So 44-11 at TCU doesn't give me enough faith to take BYU here either. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, BYU at home, I thought was a great play this weekend versus Texas Tech. And one thing, that game stayed under, just not a lot of points in the second half. They had a big lead. Texas Tech couldn't get anything done. But BYU on the road, they're not very good. I like the over. I think this total's too low. I think Texas can do whatever they want. And yeah, they bounced out, 14-0. And you're right, just let Houston back in there in the second quarter. And ended up the game being a little bit closer. But I lean Texas here, maybe even their team total and over.
And keep in mind, Quinn Ewers left the game in the fourth quarter last week against Houston with the shoulder injury. He's week to week, and he's doubtful for this game against BYU, which means, but don't be careful overreacting to it, because this is a situation where there's little drop-off, at least on paper, with the three quarterbacks at Texas. Quinn Ewers is good, but Malik Murphy, who's next man up, is very capable, and he's a five-star. He's very capable of going in there and playing well. And just like Arch Manning, who's now going to go from QB3 to QB2, he's a five-star guy as well. Like, they are loaded with these blue-chip quarterbacks, Texas. So be careful saying, oh, Quinn Ewers is out, Texas is vulnerable. No, I don't think that's the case. Malik Murphy, who's going to start probably in this game, he is definitely going to be capable of leading this offense with very little drop-off, in my opinion.